How can you increase the curb appeal of your home at nighttime? Well, pathway lighting like this system you see here is one way to do exactly that. The system featured in this how-to video is offered by our friends at GardenLighting. GardenLighting offers a wide variety of different types of outdoor lighting systems, and they're all beautiful and high quality. This video will offer a complete step-by-step guide to installing a pathway lighting system from beginning to end. Let's dive in. The folks at GardenLighting sent me a professional grade pathway lighting system, so I'm going to open everything up and just do a quick inventory. And the first thing I want to check out are the lights themselves. They're also referred to as luminaires. Now, for my purposes, I received a half dozen luminaires, and that's going to be sufficient for the portion of my front yard that I'm going to add lighting to. And we're going to open one of these bad boys up, and we're going to see just how well made these are. These are serious pieces of equipment. They're very well made, super high quality materials, and as you'll see, they'll be resistant to all types of extreme weather conditions. Obviously extreme heat, extreme moisture, snow, ice, you got it. And you can see this particular model has grading on top of the luminaire. So if you've got a lot of foot traffic in your yard or along your pathways, even if you got a couple of dogs running around, these things will take it. Even the wiring on these luminaires is very high quality. So these are very well made lighting systems, and they're going to last for years and years and years. Now I also want to check out this low voltage transformer. Your pathway lighting system requires one of these devices to step down the household current down to a lower voltage that pathway lighting requires. Now, it should be noted that these transformers tend to weigh quite a bit, so you want to find a nice secure location to mount your transformer, and this transformer comes with a couple of feet of cord, so that gives you some flexibility on where to locate it. Now here's our low voltage landscape cabling, and I've also got a half dozen light bulbs. Now these are 2700K pathway light bulbs. You can opt for higher power bulbs or even lower power bulbs if you so desire. These light bulbs look like miniature Batman spotlights, so security won't be an issue when these things are on. All right, we're going to strip the ends of our low voltage landscape cabling, and we need to strip both ends, of course. We want to expose about a ½ inch to an inch of copper wiring on each end, and then once we do that, we'll give each set of copper wires a little bit of twist like I'm doing there. The portion of cabling with white lettering on it will attach to the transformer common port. The unmarked portion, it's got like miniature channels, that will attach to the transformer voltage port. Now we just loosen up these Phillips head screws on either side of the cover, and we can lift up the cover on the transformer. There's your dial to set the timer. On the right is the optional photocell plug. Here are the connections for our low voltage landscape line. The black label is the common port. The blue label is the 12-volt port, and we also have an optional 15-volt port if you're running a lot of length. All right, here's the stud I'm going to mount the transformer to in our garage. I made sure to secure the transformer in a very easy to access place in our garage, so it's easy to get to when I need to get to it, but it's also protected from the elements. Now, here's a shot of our front yard. This is where I'm going to place our GardenLighting lights. A portion of this yard is a xeriscape, but there's also this portion that needed some serious edging, so I took care of the edging, and now I'm ready to start digging out spots for the luminaires. Now, before I do that, though, I'm going to stake out exactly where I want to place each luminaire. I determined that the best distance between each of my 6 luminaires would be 76 inches, 6 feet 4 inches, and I placed stakes with a little bit of rag tied to the top. And then I did a walk around just to make sure, okay, are these luminaires, once they're in place, are they going to look good? Is it going to look like a decent border around the spot that I chose? And I figured, yeah, let's start digging. I took a hose to the spots that I chose to dig cavities, make sure the ground's nice and waterlogged. It's obviously a lot easier to dig that way. Then I got out my spade and just started commencing in manual labor. And once I got most of the cavities dug out, I took that heavy-duty scoop like you see on the left there and just kind of finalized the cavity. I got down about 5 inches with each of my 6 cavities, and I use that scoop to really just kind of level out, smooth out the cavity, get it nice and fine-tuned so I could put a luminaire inside each cavity. You're looking at my construction project in the actual lawn portion, in the actual sod portion, and there were also some luminaires that were going into a xeriscape portion, and those were just a little bit different. In the xeriscape section of our front yard, aka the drought-resistant plant section, I have a layer of ornamental pinkish rock on top of a vinyl plastic heavy-duty weed barrier. This barrier prevents weeds and grasses growing up through the rock, and so I just needed to move the rock out of the way to clear out a space that I could cut barrier back and then dig out a section for a luminaire. And I just use regular household scissors to cut the barrier back. And then once I do that, I expose some dead grasses, some dead weeds underneath the barrier, which all I got to do is just kind of push those out of the way, and then I can start digging. And just like in the sod section, I dig down about 4 to 5 inches, and I've got a cavity deep enough for a luminaire. Now, if you're dealing with highly impacted soil, really tough soil to cut through, get it nice and waterlogged before you start digging. Throw some water on it and let it soak for about a half hour. It'll be a lot easier to dig out. And then once you've got your cavity, just like in the sod portion, you want to position your luminaires, make sure they fit, make sure that the cavity is deep enough. Now, as mentioned, these luminaires are very well constructed. They're super heavy duty. They also have 5 bolts holding the top portions in place. I like to use a power drill to remove those bolts. And then once I get the bolts out of the way, I can remove the top. Just below each top is a pretty thick rubber gasket, so these things have a lot of weatherproofing going on. And then once we get the top and the rubber gasket out of the way, we can look and see where the bulb is installed. And it actually plugs into a kind of a trapeze-like metal assembly. Makes it easier to center up the bulb once it's in place. You want to use MR16 LED bulbs like this one. Make sure those 2 little pins align into where it plugs in so you don't bend them, and then we'll just put it all back together. Be aware if you're using a power driver like I am to reassemble these lights, just don't over torque the bolts. No need for that, just get them snug and you'll have plenty of water resistance. Now it's time to run the low voltage electrical line from the final light in the series to the transformer. Now I'm running some of the line underneath this decorative rock, the xeriscape portion of our front yard. And what I did was I just moved some of the rock out of the way, and underneath the rock there's a vinyl weed barrier, and I just ran the line underneath that barrier, and it keeps it out of sight, but it also keeps it out of the elements. So once I put the rock back in place, I basically had a completely camouflaged, completely hidden low voltage line. Running the line along the lawn portion is actually a little bit easier. I just ran it right under the edge of the grass, and as you can see or not see, it's barely visible. In some sections I just had to push it in a little farther with a wooden dowel. All right, let's connect the lights. All right, so here's our waterproof connectors. The first thing we're going to do is remove the wider bottom portion, and it'll expose, I guess you could say, a U-shaped piece of plastic, and we're going to use this metal puncture piece to actually penetrate the wiring. But first we're going to situate the wire into this U-shaped piece of plastic, and I'm doing this one-handed, so excuse the awkward juggling. But once we get the wire situated into the connector bottom, then we can align the puncture portion or the top portion of the connector like so, and then just screw that down, and that metal puncture will go through the wire and create a secure connection. Next, we'll unscrew the top portion of these connectors, and that's where we hook up the actual wiring from the lights themselves. After removing the top portion of these connectors, you'll see what looks like a plastic washer. And what you do is you just thread a stripped portion, maybe about a ½ inch to an inch, of wiring that leads from the luminaires through the opening that you see right there. And once you do that, you just screw the top washer back in place, and it connects to that metal pole that you see. So we just thread the wiring right through the center and just screw it in. And it creates a more secure connection than you think. You can pull on it, don't pull too hard, but you can give it a little bit of force and it's not going to pop out. Well, now it's time to plant, for lack of a better term, our luminaires. So we have our excavated cavity. I'm going to put a little bit of all-purpose gravel, pea-sized gravel that I bought specifically for that purpose. And I put a layer down first before putting in the luminaire, allows for better drainage around the luminaire. I made sure to give myself a lot of electrical cord, and once we have the lantern in place, then we can put the pea-sized gravel around it, make sure the lamp is centered up, and then once the gravel is packed around it, it's not going to go anywhere. It'll be nice and situated with some good drainage around it. I took a similar approach to planting luminaires in the xeriscape portion of our front lawn. Again, I just packed pea-sized gravel around each lantern, and then once I was done with that, I put a layer of decorative rock over the pea-sized gravel for a nice finish. So by day, these pathway lights are out of sight, out of mind, but by night, this GardenRight pathway lighting system offers wonderful ambience to your front yard, side yard, backyard, wherever you need pathway lights, and you'll also get a measure of security as well. So I want to give a big shout out, a big thanks to the folks at GardenRight, and I hope this video helps you with your pathway lighting project. If it did, please subscribe to my channel, where you'll find plenty of other DIY home improvement project videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.